Hello, hello. Happy Thursday, February 19th, 2026. How's everybody? Greyhound, hello. How are you? Gabriel, DRZ, Hans, good afternoon. Russell. Greyhound, I think I shipped you a package today. 47 and sunny. Yeah, it's in the sort of in the 40s here, sort of. I've got behind me here, behind my screen, I've got actually a door. And so in the mornings, after I get my shipping done and I check all my emails and all that, I usually take a quick, like, 5-minute break. And when the weather's nice, I step outside. And Lisa got me actually a chair so I can sit down and drink what's left of my coffee. And I have like a little power bar or something. And today was the first day that I could sort of sit outside without completely freezing in a while. But after, like, I barely got the power bar done, and I'm like, okay, time to go inside. So anyway, it's a step in the right direction, but we should not kid ourselves. It is February 19th. It is not April 19th. So I think we're supposed to get snow tomorrow. So anyway, what's cooking today? Boy, it's really quiet in the chat there. 71, man. I tell you, I'm living in the wrong state. 71 degrees. I do anything to be wearing shorts right about now. Okay. So let's see what we got cooking today. I don't have much. Gary, good morning. How are you? I just got done looking at pictures of the most outstanding pen that quite possibly could be gracing our shelves here at CP. It's outstanding. It takes a lot for me to be impressed, and I was impressed. We'll see if it happens. I think it might happen. But a 75, Parker 75 Regency. It's neat. It's a neat pen. So I've seen some cool 75s, but this one tops the list. It's a once in a lifetime pen, I think, for somebody. I guess while we're chatting here, waiting for people to come in, I guess I'll put this out there. If we have anybody listening, and today is Thursday, so this is extremely short notice. Anybody listening that lives in the Bethesda, Maryland area, like in close driving distance. I don't want anybody that's going to drive 2 hours to get there. There is an estate sale in Bethesda starting tomorrow that has something that I'm interested in, and I can't get there. And my main I can bribe you to do the 10 hours of driving. No, I can't. Good friends don't do that. Good friends don't do that. And quite honestly, I'm debating whether or not I guess I'm going to tell myself that the picture's a terrible picture and the pen is black and I already have the black variant and I don't need it. But if anybody does live in the Bethesda, Maryland area, please shoot me an email if you're interested in going to an estate sale tomorrow. It starts tomorrow. That has a bunch of pens, so there might be something for you in it. But there is one pen in there that I am certain is not going to be the most expensive pen there for sure. That I'm interested in, and I may call him. I doubt it though. I doubt they'll do that, but I can buy flights. Yeah, I don't think so. That would be. I could get a flight, fly there, fly back, and I wouldn't make it in time for the podcast. I might though. I don't know. Anyway, there's the classic terrible picture, but there's a pen that looks like something I don't have and that I need to have. So if anybody wants to do me a solid, let me know. I'm just going to put in my mind that I already have the pen, and because there is a possibility that I do have this pen, but I can't tell. So if you left now, you still wouldn't make it. Yeah. It's already tomorrow for you, Gary. You've already missed it. Right? It's already tomorrow in Australia. All right. Okay. What do we got? I don't have a whole lot today, which is maybe okay because I know you're probably disappointed about hitting the Mountain Dew. Well, so what happened today is last night Lisa and I went shopping. There's a grocery store like it's not the one we normally go to, but we go there. They have like the orange juice I like. They're the only place that has the orange juice that I like in the area. And we needed a couple staple things, and so we just kind of went there, like a creamer for her coffee and things like that. And so we got some Diet Coke, and Lisa says, well, we'll bring some Diet Coke, and we'll bring it to the office because I don't always want coffee, and I would like something cold to drink. So great. So of course this morning we come, and it's early. It's 6:30 when we leave. Neither one of us remembers to bring the Diet Coke. Of course, it's my fault. I forgot to bring the Diet Coke. But our daughter came in to do some photography, and Lisa asked me, well, where's the Diet Coke? I said, well, we left it at home. And so our daughter decided I got to go to the gas station anyway to get something to eat. I'll go get you something. So she went and got Lisa Diet Coke, and she came back with the Diet Mountain Dew, and she says, well, I can't just leave you alone. So she got me one, and there we are. So, and speaking of coffee, now that we've all assembled, I'm going to take a quick 45-second break. I got to run some coffee over to Lisa. I'll be right back. Hang on. I was supposed to do it earlier, and I forgot, but all right, let's take a look at what's on the bench. This is, throw that off there. So I've got a couple pens I want to work on today, and then I have 3 Esterbrook Diplo sets that I kind of want to clean up, and they need to get out of here. I got a couple of nibs I want to look at. Neither of these have to find pens for the sets. This is what we started yesterday. We're going to set this off to the side, and we're going to continue this next week. This is the pen we sort of assembled through parts, and maybe we'll start on that today. We'll see. And I brought this one in from home. This is a really lovely modeled. Actually, it's probably, maybe you'd call it wood grain hard rubber grease jobber. And when I opened it up, Apparently, I inked it and did not clean it before I put it away. So we're gonna clean this up. We'll do that. But kind of an unusual. Does it have a barrel? Yeah, it does have a barrel imprint. Last week you picked up a pen, and it is Crescent, a Conklin product. Celluloid, cigar-shaped, lovely color and pattern. I cannot find any info on it. Celluloid, cigar-shaped. Well, I'd have to look in the Conklin book, which I have at home sitting on my kitchen table, you know, because like when you're eating your dinner, you want to check out the Conklin book. It's right there. I'll try to remember to look that up for you. Let's see. I'm gonna start cleaning this guy because this is kind of a nice pen. It's got a number 8. Oh, I can see what happened here. Sometimes you block these things out of your mind. But I clearly did ink this pen. It's got a Greasehaber number 8 nib, and the tipping snapped off. Oh, that's too bad. That's a hard. That's going to be a hard nib to find. That would be one that would maybe be worthy of replacing. But in the meantime, I at least want to clean it up. And then at least we can put it away clean. Oh, it's good thing I hit the table and not my pants because it just squirted all over. Oh, that's too bad. A beautiful pen too. And a cool feed. Look at this feed. Real thin. All right, hang on. Gary's sending me an email here. Oh yeah. You know what that looks like? It looks like a symmetric. But I believe you what it says. I'll look it up. I'll look it up tonight when I get home. Yeah, it's definitely a Conklin. Boy, I wonder what ink I used in this thing. Boy, that thing is... I'm gonna dip that in the ultrasonic. Well, that wasn't what I expected, but you know. Looks very advanced for the time. The feed is pretty funky, huh? You got one of those? You got a grease jobber number 8 nib lying around in your stash you can throw in the box for me? Let me know. I'm sure you don't. It's not a very big number 8. You very much doubt it. Yeah, it would very much cost me a very lot of money, is what it would be. All right, so I got a 9788 nib here. I got to straighten out. I want to do that right away because I need to. I bought these with the desk set, and I need to really get my investment back on that. Only because if I want to continue buying desk sets, I need to justify my existence, as they say. These aren't going to work. Those are kind of useless. Ask Linda Kennedy. I bet there's more than one. Yeah, I bet there's more than one size number 8. Larger nib for the later celluloids, you know. 3 more desk sets just arrived. One fountain pen as a Schaefer push button filler gadget. Push button filler gadgets? Is it a later cartridge pen with the push button converter? Linda's already doing some work, agreed to do some work for me on in Baltimore, so I really gotta. And with all the nibs that I'm gonna end up buying from you, I'm not gonna come out of this very well. I gotta spend money on stuff that I can sell, not stuff that I'm just trying to fix. But I can't have a 58 that doesn't write. That's just kind of ridiculous. You pulled out an Esterbrook you forgot was inked. You found mold had taken hold of the nib. Lost cause? It's one of the tip dip style. Dipless, you mean? No, it's not. Never a lost cause. Never a lost cause. It's metal tube that you put one end that has a hole out onto the nipple, and the other end has a black button you push. Yeah, push button converter. Yeah. Yeah, essentially it's a sack inside a converter. With the pressure bar. They don't always work so well. Let's see if that works. I haven't checked if these have even good sacks or not. Might. That's nice. That'll work. Somebody will love that. Came with the cartridge also on the same plastic sleeve. The sleeve fell apart when touched. Another sleeve has 2 cartridges. Yeah. That's really one of my favorite nibs, this 9788. All right, that's good. Two desk pens to the pile. Although I might need one of them in about a week, since my buddy Hans has helped with my desk set list. Another one crossed off. Hopefully 2. All right, I'm going to set this aside for now. We'll check on that nib on that grease jobber in a minute here. Cross Townsend arrived. It's a good rider. Yeah, I bet it is. All right, so here's what we got. A nice trio. 407s and a 444 in red. Oh, actually, you know what I got to do before I do this? I had this. Do I have enough Dr. G's? Let's see what I got here. I got that much left. I'm gonna let those soak. Those had that's from the other Lincoln that we were looking at yesterday. All right. Obviously used. You have some cork on the bottom. Time to tap into my 55-gallon drum of Dr. G's. Yeah. Actually, I poured it all out, so I'm going to end up having to steal another bottle. Okay, we're going to clean this, and then we're going to pull it out. Just going to drop it in just like that. These look clean. I found these in a box. That's about as clean as you can get. I don't know what that is. Yeah, so this one I think is really good to go. This is very clean. It's pretty nice and tight. Yeah, I don't think we need to do anything with that. This one's missing a couple of feet on the bottom. It's on the inside or the outside. It looks like it's on the outside. Looks good. That's a good gasket. Paul must have cleaned these and just threw them away. Put them in for storage, and that was it. I don't think there's anything to do with these. Anything to do here. I'm going to throw that in the ultrasonic. The 444M variant for maroon. Actually pretty clean. You're expecting a maximum amount, huh? What color? That's always a good day. Maybe you should give up on the desk that's on your desk right now to try a dipless one. Yeah, they're not going to dry out. That's the beauty of it, really. As long as you have... Now, the catch is... the catch is there are different kinds of sections on dipless pens, and sometimes they fit better in some sets than others. And there's no indication that the design ever changed, so you just kind of have to try to see if yours fits nicely or not. This got a little chip on the bottom here, I just noticed. But thankfully it's on the bottom in a bag. It can conveniently be placed away from you, or I guess I can see it there. That's probably why I love desk sets so much. Dipless sets. They're just, they're always ready. Was green the most popular, or it just survived the best? I don't know. That's a good question. The beauty of now you obviously couldn't use shimmer ink in a dipless set. That wouldn't work. But you could use Japanese inks. You could use Oroshizuku. You could use Sailor. You could use Platinum. Yeah. Black would most certainly have been the best seller. Yeah, pretty much always was. Complete reversal of what it is today. It's, If it's a blue pen, forget it. Everybody buys blue, you know. But yeah, you want a vintage pen that you can put modern ink in and not have to worry about it? The Dipless is, that's the way to go. I mean, I wouldn't give up on desk sets entirely, but there's some awesome desk sets. But Esterbrook really championed the whole Dipless idea. I don't know, Juicy. Last couple Maximas I had were red. Luck of the draw, right? All right, y'all ready for this? It's got a little bit of a chip out of it too. This will be a good budget inkwell. We'll find some pens for it this afternoon here. This is for Hans because, you know, I know he loves this stuff. Now, if only we had been taking count of this from the very beginning. I suppose we could go back and look at the videos. It's too bad India's in here. She loves this too. Yeah. Well, you know, it's going to take the better part of the next 25 minutes to do this. This is so hard to get these back in. If you've never done this, you have no idea. How hard this is. But it's really essential because if you clean the rest of it and you don't clean this, this is what you leave behind. You're off already, Juicy? All right. See y'all next week. Yep. You counted the rods when you did yours. You don't remember, though? See, all this stuff you would be leaving in there, and there's a lot of just dried ink, and you just roll them. Some of it is disintegration of these rods. Some of these look really rough. It looks like modern art, doesn't it? Can we sell this? Should we take a picture of this and then sell this? Need another piece of paper here. So we're going to do 5 at a time and then kind of make sure we get anything else off of them on this new sheet. Stacks of 10. Maybe where from the pen being used thousands of times. Yeah, it could be, you know, from the pen just being dipped in there and encase it in acrylic and sell it. Yeah. There we go. As if I don't have enough projects, Hans. Will you be my first customer? That's 6. If I make one, sure. I don't know. It sounds like kind of a fantastic Christmas present in the making. Doesn't it though? It would be weird enough for your pen room. Yeah. I mean, as long as it wasn't huge, right? You know, it's like a little 8, 5.5, 5x8 kind of thing. One of the Shaver ballpoint pens has a Mont Blanc refill in it. Oh, that's a doozy of a set. Holy cow. Weird. I don't think those trumpets are Schaefer, though. Bottom has a tan sponge on the base. Very strange. Very strange. Well, the pens don't seem to fit in the trumpet very well. They fit perfectly, huh? Hmm. All right, there's 25. This first pile. That's 10. Something more like this. Here we go. 25. Yeah, this would be a perfect gift for. I just need to find a completely destroyed 444 and then donate the. Although I have one that I need one of these for. And there was an auction on eBay for a bunch of Diplos desk set parts, and I was ready to buy it. And it was Spear Bob, and he was on vacation. And then for like a month. And then he came back from vacation and I didn't catch it in time and somebody else bought it. Yeah, it's 20. $25. Now, what do we think this count's going to be here? Got any guesses? Ish. 184 ish. Is that what you think yours was? All right, that's 100. I mean, just look at all this extra junk that could have actually been in your ink. You can see on some of these how narrow they are in the middle. Make that one big jumble of 100 there. I don't know. Three, four, five. I don't think we're going to get to 184. Yeah, I'm sure there's no exact number. But we all want to know. Have I ever tried to ultrasonically clean them? I'd have to put them like in a nylon bag or something. I mean, I dipped the whole thing in the ultrasonic, but that doesn't really get in between. I mean, some of these, they end up being really, I don't doubt you can even see this. You can see it's just really, it's really fragile. and kind of corroded. I'm not going to count these little small pieces, but we'll put them in anyway. So we've got 170, roughly, in this one. So, Gabriel, you're pretty close. You did clean yours in the ultrasonic? You know, probably would be, I probably could have really good results if I rubbed them up against a, like a piece of 12,000 grit micro mesh. All right, now the fun part. Love to find a box of new replacement rods. That would be super cool. $170. I think that's less than some of the last ones. Oh, the small bags they make to fill your own tea bags. I think a lot of this material that we see here that's on the paper is the rods that have, you know, worn away and they're all corroded. And This is the part I hate the most, though. They never go back the same way. Which is why I don't like doing this. I guess if you took a tweezers and put them in one by one, you'd be okay, but you may have hit 190 once. Ah, see, this happened last time. Now this isn't going to work very well because one jumped away. It's 169. Stimulating, I know. Here we go. Well, it's the one that fell on the ground, which will join its other brethren that I have lost on this exact same carpet. So that's all excess stuff off the rod. Well, I should write that down somewhere. 170. Yeah, it's a remarkable amount of hard rubber dust. what's remarkable is how thin some of those rods get in the middle, yet maintain a structural rigidity without completely breaking in half. I mean, there were several of them that were super thin in the middle. Like yeah, it'll work like a charm. I mean, it'll definitely work better. Plus, I lost that one, so I mean, it's going to be really going to be a screamer. I always wondered how these, you see 407s with these clips missing all the time. Like, how did those go missing? How did you lose that? Problem is most sellers um, don't know that they're missing that. My favorite is, I mean, you see this all the time on eBay, and it just makes me laugh. People go, "Oh, that's how it goes." Um, how's the ink supposed to get in the pen? Or I mean, I suppose they think that you just dip it in. I don't know what they think. I really don't know what they think. Um, but it just makes me laugh. Now, if you could buy these all day long at $5 without the clip, then I would be like happy as a clam because I got clips. But I'm saving the clips for the times that I come across the couple that I need. So these didn't have that. They just kind of sit in there and pray for the best. Actually, I'm going to take this out. Polish this guy up. This one looks a little bit worse for wear. I guess the whole thing is not A quality. We'll put a good nib in it. And give it a little bit of a shine here. It's pretty dirty. There's one of these, a 407 on eBay right now that's so dirty I can't tell what color it is. It looks black, but it's just nasty. I can't believe the seller didn't at least at bare minimum try to clean it up with something. Considering how, and look at that, how some of these people are so eager to rip apart a pen to show you the dry desiccated sack in the back, and they'll do that, but they won't polish off 70 years of grit and grime on these things. Could also be smoke, too. I can see it's almost yellowish. It doesn't. Maybe. Doesn't smell it, but primarily using this gloss as a cleaning agent. And maybe what I'll do is I'll just dump it in the ultrasonic, and after I've gotten this off, as you can see, it's turning kind of a brownish yellow. It's kind of nasty looking back there. Yeah, let's just dump this in the whole thing in the ultrasonic. Well, I got to lose on this guy. Not much. Guaranteed it will look better when it comes out. That guy looks pretty good. That one looks perfect. All right, let me find, we need 3 pens. Let me find some pens here. Boom. Yeah, can you imagine if there's an installation manual somewhere for Esterbrook that says how to assemble the 444 in preparation for shipping. Step 23, place 170 rods inside the cavity. That would be funny. What a job that would be. What'd you do at work today, Tony? Well, I got yelled at. I put 173 in instead of 170. Yeah, these will do. These are cooked. Actually, I was just clean these while I'm waiting for that base to go. I made a commitment to get rid of some of these desk sets, so this is what I'm doing. They weren't Esterbrook didn't make the prettiest desk pens, but they did all right. Particularly if you get them in the marbled variants. But the bases were well made. They were nice and solid and heavy. Although I do sometimes laugh at the variety that they thought they were giving the consumers. And this can apply to Parker and Schaefer and everybody else as well. But I mean, hey, let's give this set. Oh, let's do it in round. Let's do it in oval. Let's do it in square. Who thought, you know what, I like that base, but you know what, I don't like it in round. I would rather have it if it were oval. No, that doesn't fit my decor. I think I'd rather have it in square. All right. Dump that in there. Clean that. This one's got a little sticker residue on it, but there's no sticker, so it just kind of looks stupid. No one's going to go, oh, cool, let's keep original sticker residue. I mean, I might, but if the sticker's not there, then I don't care. This should be a t-shirt. All right, and last but not least, I don't know that anybody wants an extra fine nib in their desk set, although maybe they do, I don't know. These lucite tapers are very forgiving. If you get one that's all bitten up, you just micro mesh them. In other words, they respond well to... Oh, you bought that 322, huh? It was a good price. It really was a good price, except I looked and I had one new in the box, so I really didn't. I have to be selective. The shelf is getting full, yeah. I really thought about it seriously for a couple of days. I'm like, well, you know, it wouldn't hurt to have an extra one lying around. But then I realized how ridiculous that sounded from somebody like me. Who now has people sending me pictures of desk sets, like, you know, almost on a daily basis. Hey, do you have this? Hey, do you have this? Now that I've got a list, it will be, stuff's going to come out of every nook and cranny. I did find an early, so I knew I had a double dipless here at the office. And, well, this is tight. And I was thinking, man, I just don't think I have that base. And I went to go look at it today, and it's an extra, what is it, a 4810, I think is what the number is. What do they call it? Permanite in gray. Double dipless. The faux leather cover on it. Boy, isn't this an interesting taper? That's interesting. Very interesting. Does this one even fit? But this one doesn't fit. It does, but... So that's very weird. There's a complete piece of tape on that, I think. So I really got to dig that one out. Where is it? Actually, I should take that out. Oh. It's a super cool set. If you don't have this one, and I realize like none of you have any of these, it needs to be clean, but it's... Do I have the base for it? It's the double and the full gray. And these are technically, what do they call these? 441. Oh, and I'm missing the end broke off of that one. 0 for that. Maybe that's why this is in the parts bin. Oh, they did it here too. Oh, you know what? I know what. I wonder, I'm going to have to go look at the parts catalog, because they used This is a different, obviously different part than this. Oh, but see, that does work. But somebody found it necessary to cut off the end. Well, that's just kind of useless, isn't it? Well, this is not the set. I think I have another set somewhere. Well, so if you need a permanite in gray. I think I've got another leather covered one somewhere. Because I recall that the bottom of the base fell off. The bottom backing was falling off, so but that one was stuck on pretty good. Yeah, sadly, I missed a really great opportunity to get some nice barrister bookcases. That would have been great for storing my desk pens. But what I used to store them in, I did, I couldn't take with me because it was built-ins in my house. So I have to find something to put them in. Or they just kind of sit around until I buy a new house in 3 or 4 years. I'm probably just going to suffice with some good old-fashioned bookcases and be done. Although y'all had some really great ideas last Friday for sponsoring the shelves. I like that idea. Yeah, I like the permalites. There's what are there? 4 colors: gray, green, maroon, and gray, green, maroon, and brown. And they come in singles and doubles. So I mean that's a little, that's what's going to make this whole challenge fun, is that there are little subsets. There's the medallion series. There are only 3 of them. You know, you get those, boom, done. There's like 3 black, small black size bases, round, oval, and square. Well, apparently I don't have the round. I thought I did, but apparently I don't. You know, get that, boom, that one's done. You know, the permalite, I'm missing only a couple now because I got the green one last week. There, that cleaned up a lot better, didn't it? Not quite as shiny as the other one. I guess maybe if I had a buffing attachment, I could, on my Dremel, I could, or put a buffing pad on my grinder, I could probably do that, but I'm glad you're not a completist. I have given myself a serious challenge, and it's, you know, it's, I want to say it's doable, but the hard pieces to find are really hard. Like, it's not that they're expensive. It's just that, you know, you've never seen them. The best I can do is, the best I think I'm going to be able to do is shoot for a percentage of total dust sets that were made, and, you know, and say I hit, you know, 98% or something like that is probably the best I'm going to be able to do. But boy, this is a nice one. This is really nice. It really is quite different. It doesn't seem to be. This one just needs a real buff, is what it needs. But I mean, the number that I have right now is not a complete number because I'm still waiting to see if I can find. I got to get in touch with the Writing Equipment Society, see if there are any English catalogs. But you know, the number is less than 200. And a bunch of the ones that I don't have are not difficult to find. They will show up. You know, I would actually be shocked if I didn't find something I didn't have in Baltimore. Now, I've got a lot, but I don't have them all. But like I say, the ones that I don't have are, as evidenced earlier this morning when one of the ones I didn't have was quickly crossed off my list. Yeah, I need a bench lathe. This is what a bench grinder with a soft wheel on it. The grinder that I have is too small. It doesn't. I think that's really needs to be something I need to get. And it wouldn't be that expensive either, so I should just go ahead and do it and then get probably a vacuum. I suppose you could do it on a lathe though, couldn't you? Okay, this one's got an integrated plastic section. These two are hard rubber. That's good. This is what that feed and trying to get the reflection off the light. See if I can blacken up those ends just a little bit. You know, that fits, well, goes pretty good. Pretty well. Oh, look, here's two more desk sets. Forgot about these. Bought these on eBay. These are very nice. Fordham. Bench lathe domestic. Oh, yeah, yeah. Was that what they call a bench lathe? $330. Holy smoke. That's before I buy any of the attachments for it, huh? You know what? We're going to give one of these a 95.50 and we're going to put it in this guy, I think. I will talk with the Minister of Acquisitions and oh, of course it's not the nib that's in the box. Why would it be? Drop that in there. It's a 9461. The ministry submits a requisition request. You can provide more info. I need to find more uses. That's it, right? You know, I mean, if I spend $330 just so I can polish one desk base, I think she might just go bonkers. There, we'll put a nice 95.50 in there. That's a good looking set. It really is. I mean, even if it's, I mean, it shows its age. It's got a little wabi-sabi. I kind of like it. The desk set pens you sent me are currently in Los Angeles awaiting clearance. Awesome. So Gary was kind enough to send me some pens. And when I informed him it was going to cost him a lot more, a terrible amount to send him, he says, well, I thought you'd say that. I sent him anyway. What a guy. So I probably won't get him this week. I'll get him next week. That'll be fun. Actually, I might. I've got a use for the Esterbrook for sure. I got a base incoming that I can pair that with. Who's going to the California show this weekend? Anybody? Or you'll sell me what your Fordham replaced? You have that same one, I'm guessing? Gabriel, you are. Great. So I'll send you a list of desk sets I need you to acquire for me. How's that sound? Are you going to be in Baltimore too, or no? Probably not. You're going to go and you're going to find those 1941 deluxe sets, aren't you? You're going to find somebody who's got all four of them, and they're going to be $10 a piece. You bought the Fordham. Your love of Nice Tools made you do it. Yeah, I know. I get it. You're going to have to tell me what you use it for. Because I don't really like the idea of polishing pens, but I think there are some cases where I probably could and should. Yes, and you'll hoard them. Oh! Well, the good news is there's only 4. There's only 4 of those, so... And now Hans wants one, so we got to find, like, you know, a happy medium between the 3 of us. Boy, that's a chunky feed. What markup can you charge? Well, you know. Here's the thing. Here's what used to happen. People would know that they discover what I was collecting or was interested in, and then they'd come up to me with these things, and then they were like, you know, that used to be $100, $125, and I'd ask them, and they go, oh, yeah, well, it's $500. And I go, yeah, no, thanks. And I just stopped buying. It was kind of hilarious in a couple of instances where I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I bought that same pen last year for $125. You want $500 for it? I don't think so. I mean, people should be rewarded for doing the work and finding the pens, but it's a double-edged sword because you tell people what you're collecting. It's ridiculous how much people are asking for buy it now prices at eBay sometimes. Yeah. You know, when you tell people what you're collecting, it's great because then you got other people who are like, oh, you know, he's looking for this. Well, I just happen to find it, or I've got it sitting in the back of my case. You know, and things come out of the woodwork. The other side of that is you know, then they want to get maximum dollar out of it, and you go, well, I don't think so. You know, people try to get you to pay too much for things they think I want all the time. They're shocked when you say no. Yeah, you know, and as much as Lisa and I joke about it, and as much as I joke about collecting pens, and don't get me wrong, I love collecting pens. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not made of money. And I'm not going to just buy anything just because. They try to remind you, you'll never see one again. My response is, you're right, I probably won't. But that money's doing okay in my bank. Just sitting there. Or in my pocket. All right, that cleaned up all right. I don't know what I'm going to do with this stupid thing. But it's clean. I have the cleanest parts bin in the country. That's probably what's going to happen. That's what they're going to say about me when I die. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm nervous about making this public the last few weeks about wanting to buy desk sets because, but I mean, they're Esterbrook. So it's like, you know, there's only a few things that are really super rare. And I guarantee you, nobody's going to find them. They're just not out there. I mean, somebody's got to have them. Esterbrook wouldn't have put together a catalog and put those executive sets in there if they didn't think they were going to make it, you know. So they got to be somewhere, but they're very short-lived. You know, somebody's got it. Somebody's got an Esterbrook Model 1. Somebody's got one. They don't know what it is. My luck, it's going to be somebody who says, "Oh, I just like it because it's black and it's hexagonal and it's, you know." And they're not even going to be, my luck, they're not even going to be a collector. I did get a funny email the other day from eBay. And it kind of terrified me for a minute until I realized what email account it was coming to, because I have multiple email accounts. And it said, we see you haven't used your account in a while. You've got 30 days. You've got 30 days. And if you don't log in 30 days and use your account, we're going to close your account. What? But it was not my primary account. It was something else. The Hook Wizard. Hello. How are you? Welcome. What are we working on today? Today we're just kind of rambling along, and we are working on some Esterbrook dipless desk sets. This is the beautiful 444 in red. If you're not familiar with these, you pour the ink in there, and then there are currently 169 little rods of ebonite inside this that provide capillary action to the pen. There used to be 170, but one fell out and rolled onto my floor, so we'll find that some year. And then these are the earlier predecessors, the 407, that you fill up. So you do love a good SD, yeah. Yeah, and then there's the pen. And they're dip pens, but you can thread in a nice renew point and be on your way. So these have been taking up space on my work table, right next to my shipping table, and they need to get out of the way. And there's nothing wrong with them, so we're going to kind of just get them ready and put some nibs in them, and then we're going to get them up on the site. We're going to sell them. And these are just fun to have around. I really need to seriously consider inking one of these guys up. It's good to go. They're one of my favorite inventions that Esterbrook ever made. So nothing earth-shattering here today in terms of repair techniques. But sometimes, you know, on the bench, it's what it is. What nibs do they have in them? This one here, I put a new old stock 9550 in. The base itself is a little bit, I won't say worse for wear, but it's got a little chip out of the back, and it's missing two of the little feet here. So I thought I'd put a little bit nicer nib in. I'll probably put a fine or a medium in the other two. Whatever I got lying around. The red 444 is actually pretty nice. Actually, it's maroon. I'm sorry. They're fun. My brain is working overtime because I know there's a desk set somewhere here that I have to look at. Because that gray one is not what I thought it was. Which one of these? Maybe I sold it. I don't know. It was and I thought it was gray as well, but it might have been English. English with the leather. I don't know. I could be daydreaming. Okay, that goes in much better. Got a lot of threads on this baby. So this one I think is going to go in there. What nibs do we? Oh, I got that manifold medium. That might be a good one. That one. I just bought this lot of nibs on eBay, so what do we think? This is kind of an old. It's got the older imprint variation, so I think that one will look really great in this one here. And this guy here, let's see. It's a little bit nicer base, so I don't need to have to try to sell it so hard with a better nib. Well, we'll see what we got. I'm looking for a nice medium. There we go. That's what I want. A nice 2668. That will work good. And actually, while I'm here, so just do a little house cleaning here. This is actually a really cool box here. Actually, I'm going to take these home. These are early boxes, and they're not marked for what nib is in them. I suppose I should check. Watch to be like 2312s or something. It just kills you. Your grandmother's older brother was a World War II vet, and all she had of his was an old Esterbrook. When she passed, I went over every inch of the house to find it. No one else in the family would have been interested, but I never could find it. Hans says, I feel your pain. My grandmother sold the Parker my grandfather used during the war at the yard sale in the 80s, probably for 25 cents. Yeah. Yeah. Similar story too. Not as tragic, but one year for Christmas, 1550. I gave my grandfather Um, I want to say it was like a red Esterbrook. Could have been blue. I don't remember. In a bottle of ink, and I gave him a book with some prompts to, to write about his life. Because I had at one point tried to film them, and I had a list of questions and things, and my grandma was like all kind of embarrassed, and she's like, "Yeah, no, I don't. we're not doing that. I don't think so." So that didn't work out. So I thought, well, you know what? Maybe they're more comfortable if I give them a book and have them fill it in, and then they can think about their answers and whatnot, and do that, because that would be really nice, because they lived a very interesting life. They lived through the Depression. Grandpa was he was stateside during the war, but he was in the war nonetheless, and trained pilots and all that stuff. And when they passed and my mom cleaned out the house, I know there was a whole lot of stuff that just went straight from the house into the dumpster. Wasn't even looked at, wasn't looked through. I was given like maybe 5 minutes. It's literally about what it was. 5 minutes to look through the house if there was anything that I wanted. And that 5 minutes was kind of cut short. So we never found the pen. I found the bottle of ink I gave him. I didn't find the book. So would have been nice to have it back. I did, however, find what was kind of cool is I gave him. He was big into crosswords, and so I gave him a Retro 51 crossword pencil. And boy, these nibs are narfed up. It was found on the side table next to the couch where he spent most of his day, with the eraser heavily worn down, and the tube was in the drawer. So I knew he used it. So I did get that, but that was, but yeah, it's terrible when you can't, there's something there and you can't get it. All right, 2 more desk pens for the pile. Those are bad nibs. These are good nibs. This box is kind of cool. It's very early. You know they're early when there's a hyphen between re and new. That's an early box. Later on, they just switched to. Now this is more red and. Oh, sorry. This is a terrible box to show you. Red and silver as opposed to red and. But you got to pay attention to those little things, because you never know what you might find. Okay, so get rid of these. We got stuff for that. What time is it? 3:11. Well, that's great. We've got here's a nib here. What is this? Oh, that's a 1550. I guess that should go back in that bin. These are. Well, we got 3 pens done. Hit the focus on there. You were cleaning up after Dad died. You checked a pair of used slippers in a box. There was a diamond ring in one of them, worth $6,000. Wow. Yeah, we should probably test these. Should we test these nymphs? They are all new old stock, but let's. I need a pad of paper. Maybe it's time I started using this notebook. So I've got this Apica notebook that it's got some writing in it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start writing in it until we use it up. And then I'll just cut them out. Wow, that's a nice nib. Guess that's a manifold fine. Yeah, the 9460 is the medium. They reversed that order for some reason. All right, so I've written a whole paragraph here, and I still see ink in the feed. I mean, it just keeps going and going. And it really wasn't a full dip either. So when this is fully saturated, it's going to be all the way back. Let's see how long this will last. Forgive my awful handwriting. I'm just writing gibberish here, so. Is that gray ink? No, this is Waterman Black. Get ink on your pens? Wow, it's a whole page, and I'm still not done yet. You know, if the Schaefer dots can be bought, one set, the ball point is missing the dot. Look at it right, and you can see the tiny hole it goes into. Now the ballpoints didn't always have the dots, if I'm not mistaken. You can find them from time to time, but you got to go to a show. Isn't this incredible? How much this writes on one dip? I haven't written with one of these in a long time. All right, Gary, gotta go. Have a great rest of your day. Have a good workout or ride or whatever you're doing. Three sets arrived today. Two were doubles and a single. Interesting how they use different fillet systems. Yeah. Okay, so anybody who tells me they don't want a Diplus pen because it doesn't hold a lot of ink, I'm still not out. I mean, and it's not. This is incredible. No, you put a broad nib in here or bleak or something like that. Using 9461 at work. We use receipt books. The manifold nib is great for it. Yeah, this is great. Any surprises for the podcast tomorrow? A couple new product launches. I've already talked about them here on the stream. Probably nothing. I mean, you're really clued. If you watch the repair stream here, I kind of squeak everything out. Everybody knows what's going on. I am going to have a conversation with Lisa tonight about a new product that I will keep secret until we actually get it. That we haven't had in 12 years. Maybe that's just a rough number. 12, what would that be? But I've had a request for something, and I thought about it, and it was a good request. And I didn't do anything about it because I was busy. We're working our plan, and the person emailed back saying, "Hey, listen, I just want to make sure Mont Blanc digital paper." Every time you know everything I'm thinking, and the Mont Blanc that little stupid thing with the disc, that pen. No, it's not Mont Blanc digital paper. But it's a cool product. It's a cool product. It's got an interesting use case for it. Will it be the most popular thing I sell? No. But is it interesting? Yes, absolutely. Is it cool? I think so. If I have Japanese paper tomorrow, you should dress appropriately. Well, I will tell you this. I finally, believe it or not, after much duress, finally got the insurance company to approve of 2 final repairs on my car, including a new tire. Sorry, you ruined everything. Yeah. And so, but they have to order the tire, and I'm thinking, like, I don't care what tire you put on there. I really don't. It doesn't have to match. I don't care. Just get me a new tire. And Lisa's like hot to go get a smoking jacket. She's just like, as soon as we get that, we can go travel again. Like, okay. Yeah, Japanese paper. I'm having a very difficult time. My normal distributor is I don't know what's going on. And they're not stocking everything they used to stock. And I can't get an answer as to what the situation is. Because, when I go to place it, I'm out of certain things and I'm running out of other things and I need to get them, and they don't have them, and I got to find somebody else to get them from. I can get to the bottom of the page. If it hasn't run out, I'm stopping. I'm not going to continue to write. So I did almost 2 full pages on one dip. And there's still, it's insane. And it's not a question of is the pen good? It's a question of, people think dip pens and they think, well, I need it to have capacity, you know. Well, I mean, now the trick is when when this dries out, what I found the best way to do it is actually to invert the nib and put it in that way and let it sit. It seems to pick, just because of the angle, it picks up the ink better that way. Let it sit in there for a little bit, and then you can pull it out and it's good to go. It's perfectly fine the other way if you do it overnight, but if you need to get it, you know, if I need to keep writing this novella about all the different models of 444 desk base, then, you know, and it's all due to this. It's all due to the feed. Let's see. This is a 9550, so this is going to write, and I'm just even dipping this halfway. I'm not going to write a ton on this because I know this would write forever. You know, the nice thing is that normally if this were a pocket pen, your feed would not be this saturated. Now, it's not, because it's a full comb feed and the combs go all the way back and they go all the way around, the combs hold the ink. If you've got a fountain pen, eventually you write through that. And you know, and then it is what it is. But with this, it's there, and it's, you can write a lot. I mean, it would be hilarious if you took one of these to, like, you know, the school or something. You set it up on your desk and go, you know. But Newell stock nib, but it's a little bit toothy. I mean, it is precise. You need something to. This thing will write small. It's not an ultra extra fine, but if you can even. It's small. It's very small. Okay. It's just a hair. Yeah, it is nice. It's just a hair. Too feedbacky. I would like it to be a little bit less so. There we go. That's a little better. I'm not going to try to outright that pen, that nib, because it's going to be. It would take forever. All right. Last but not least, this is more my style. $26.68 medium. Now, this isn't probably going to write as long as this. But on this fine nib, I bet you I had at least a half a page yet to go. I mean, I bet this would write a long time. And I only did a half dip on this. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, and I can still see ink surplus back here. And I only dipped it halfway. But it performs how I expect a new old stock 2668 to write, so. All right. Should have done that earlier in the week. I would have had those ready to go for photography today, but I guess not. Oh well. These are good photograph next week. I'll probably show them off on the podcast tomorrow. If any of these are of interest to anybody on the stream, shoot me an email, and we can certainly work out something, and I can get them. You know, I mean, I could ship them out as early as tomorrow. If you got to have one of them, let me know. Other words, it's Smart buyer will pick them up before they go on the website. Yeah, I mean, I think this, even though there's a tiny little chip in here and I completely forgot about it, you can't, it's all right here. This red is this maroon is such a good color. Really a good color. And this one is just sharp. It's just so nice. Nice nib and nice and clean. The extra fine. It's all good. It's all good. We'll show them off in the podcast tomorrow. I'm sure somebody will be interested. Every Diplo set, I don't think I have any for sale right now because every Diplo set I put up, people buy. I think I'm going to call it a day on that. On that note, I don't really want to start anything new right now because I think Lisa's getting done right at 4. And then I forget what we're doing. We're heading home, getting to work, doing other things. Yeah, have a great evening, Hans. Thank you so much. Thanks for everything today. Yeah, so that's it for this week. Hopefully next week I'll be in better shape. It was a rough week, but I made it through. And let's see, let's see what's on the agenda for next week before we head out here. Oh goodness, I have way too many windows open. I'll just check my phone. Let's see if there's anything going on next week that I don't. Let's see. Oh, I got some new consignment stuff coming in. That's going to be fun. That'll be coming in next week. But yeah, nothing. I've got all my training sections for my software is all done. So it should be a normal week next week, Monday through Thursday. And we'll go escape all you can. Yeah. So it should be a normal week. Other words, I hope, thanks all for tuning in. I hope you have a good rest of your afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. Be kind, please, and be well. And we'll catch you tomorrow, 1:30 at the podcast. All right? Take care, everyone. Thanks, Tom.